Iteration is doing something again and again until a specific condition is satisfied. That is what iterations are. Now let's learn the different types of iterations in Python. The main two ones are the for loop and the while loop. Now iteration statements are also known as looping statements. The two types of iteration statements or looping statements in Python are for loop and while loop. So in this lecture we will be dealing with for loops. Now first of all we need to understand the syntax. So here's the syntax. For I in range, brackets, lower limit to upper limit, a full colon, and the loop body. This is the basic syntax of our for loop. So I'll explain this better with an example. So I have an example right here. For I in range 0 to 5, print I. So what this does is that i's value is going to start from 0 and it will keep on incrementing until it reaches 4, not 5, till 4. So what we are going to get in the output screen is that we are going to get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We are going to get these 5 numbers printed onto our output screen by just entering these 2 lines of code. So value of I is going to range from 0 to upper limit minus 1. In this case upper limit is 5. So the value of I will range from 0 to 4 and it will print each value of I. So first it will print 0, then it will print 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and then it will stop. You could do the same thing by using 5 different print statements like print 0, print 1, print 2, print 3. But instead of that, by writing these 2 lines of code, you can do the same thing. Now that's all great. Now let's try actually writing a program in PyCharm. Alright, so we have a PyCharm opened up here. We're going to write a program that will print our first 10 numbers. So that's great. Now we could do that in 2 ways. You could either do like print 0, print 1, print 2, print 3 till 10. You could do that. It will work. But there is an easier way. We'll be using our for loop. So I'll show you how. Instead of writing 10 lines of code, I can get the same result in just 2 lines of code. So I'll tell you what this does. First, the value of I is going to be 0 and then it will go into this loop body, and inside the loop body it will print that value of I. The current value of I will be 0, so it will print 0. Then what for loop does is that it will increment this value of I by 1. So new value of I is 1 instead of 0 and it will print that value 1. Then it will increment it again and the value will become 2 and then it will print 2. Now this goes on until the value of I becomes equal to our upper limit minus 1. In this case it will go until 9. So let's run this. Okay, we forgot our brackets. So that is an error, we have fixed it. Now let's run it again. Alright, if you check the output screen, you can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 until 9. Now in case you want 10 in your output, you could do that by changing this to 11. So this loop will run until the value of I is equal to 10. Now there are different ways of using for loop. Instead of using in range with for loop, there are many other ways in which you can use the for loop. But we cannot learn all of it at the same time. This is the very basic usage of our for loop. There are many more ways in which we can use for loops. You will learn that later in this course. So, since we are just starting out, this is all you need to know for now. In our next lecture, we'll be dealing with while loops. I'll see you there. Thank you for watching.